Hello and welcome to this week's NoMorePly Beyond the Board. Last week we dug into NoMorePly TG4 fibre cement floorboards that are structural to go straight to your joist. I promised you in that video that in this next episode we would look at some of the specific details, especially around the difference between the water absorption in, let's say, timber and fibre cement. So let's dig into some of those details right now. Let's start off with, say, worst case. A standard chipboard or chipboard particle board actually can absorb up to 80% of its weight in moisture, meaning that this can very easily lead to things like delamination, swelling, and in worst case scenario, a complete breakdown in its structural integrity, ultimately leading to that floor surface breaking down and complete failure. Now let's take that up a notch and look at, let's say, either a soft or hardwood timber floor. So that's your typical floorboards that are tongue grooved on both sides, but they are, rather than being chipboard, a solid timber board. Typically these boards can absorb anything between 30 and 50% of their weight in moisture, again leading to the risk of delamination, swelling, and therefore causing a breakdown in the structural integrity of that floor surface. Fibre cement, however, will only absorb a maximum of 3% of its weight in moisture. On average, it's between 1 and 3%. So 3% is worst case scenario, meaning that due to the composition of the products, they're not going to delaminate, swell, or expand or contract, as you would get with, say, chipboard or even a timber floorboarding system, meaning they retain their structural integrity when used both internally and externally, or if simply installed, left exposed to the elements, and then left to dry out, and then you apply your finished floor surface to the top. Fibre cement really does stand out as a superior product when used in any area where moisture ingress is a potential issue. But you've only got to look at the differences between, say, chipboard at one end of the scale that can absorb up to 80% of its weight in moisture, compared with fibre cement that on average will retain between 1 and 3% of its weight in moisture. So let's make sure we're using and choosing the right product for the application. We often talk about the tongue groove fibre cement boards being used as a structural floor surface. In actual fact, they can also be used on flat roofs. We have an increased demand of these products for flat roofs for two key reasons that we've actually already mentioned. One, of course, is the moisture resistance, but equally as importantly on flat roofs is their fire resistance. Because they're a Class A1 fire rated board, they give you that perfect fire break as well as being structurally sound on a flat roof. As normal, if you've got a project where you think these boards could be used and you would benefit from having a high performance board on your floor or on your roof, drop me a DM, give me a call, or drop me an email. We'll be very happy to look at your plans and drawings and talk to you about the installation of that board on your next project. Over and out. See you again soon.